So today I decided to make this video as soon as I got home from work. I'm extremely tired and there's a point to it. The truth is we are all very busy people, especially if you are already an adult or you have children, you have your own family, you're married, and it becomes really hard to plan sessions, to play tabletop role-playing games, and if you're the GM, to just create everything and think of everything you need to think of in order to do your job as a dungeon master well. In this video, I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to those people who are responsible adults who don't seem to find the time to do any of the things that we have to do. I'm going to help you with how to plan a session or how to be a responsible GM while still being a responsible adult. So, yeah. Welcome to Critical Insight, and if this is your first time, what we talk about is basically tabletop role-playing games, and I give advice, and sometimes I do countdowns, sometimes I do product reviews. I'm so tired. Sometimes I do product reviews, and it's basically a safe place where you can just come in, have some fun, listen to what I have to say. If you agree or disagree, make sure that you let me know in the comment section below, and that you subscribe and comment and like and all of that other stuff. And in regards to the topic, there's 3 things that I want to tell you. 3 pieces of advice, of things that you can do to help you still be a good GM while being a responsible adult. And the first one, and I'm saying this very respectfully, is maybe you could try scheduling your life a little better. The truth is, a lot of us just go throughout our lives going day by day, not really scheduling, but when you have a job, when you have children, when you have to synchronize schedules with other people, it becomes very hard. So my recommendation for you to be able to schedule your life a little better is to have a big calendar. Maybe you could even print, a sheet of paper with the calendar dates, or you can buy a calendar yourself, and you can start putting up in a calendar the events that you have pending and at what times. You start blocking out the times of the day per week, and if you can, even per month, to be able to determine exactly what your time is being spent on and what time you have available for either planning game sessions or even playing gaming sessions. In this calendar, you should schedule, if you have family time, then schedule your family time, schedule any appointments that you have. Make sure that you consider everything that you have to do. And then once you've considered all of that, once you put that into the schedule, into your calendar, you're going to have a clearer idea of how much time you actually have to spend in this. Another thing that you could definitely do is make sure that you are sharing this calendar with your friends or with the people that you play with. You don't have to include details in the calendar that you give them, but if all your players share this kind of calendar with each other, you're able to see beforehand without having to ask people, hey, do you have this time or do you have this other time? You're all going to be able to see the time that you all have together, and then together you can all plan your playtime, or rather your play date, the date that you're going to play in. Yeah, that one. The second piece of advice that I have for you guys is for you guys to please segment your planning. Sometimes we want to sit down and get it all done in one go. That is not necessarily the best way to go. Doing your planning in one go, it's not necessarily good for you, not only because it requires a long amount of time, a lot of amount of interrupted time to be able to do everything you have to do or you want to do, but also because if you do everything in one go, you might not catch some of the errors or mistakes that come with maybe revisiting certain aspects in a future date. What I recommend you do is what I do. You take different moments in different times of different days. Let's say, for example, early in the morning, you wake up and you're waiting for your coffee to brew and everything else is done. So how about you take a little time, then you grab your phone and you start typing out or writing out some of the things that you're thinking about doing. And before I continue with this, I am going to give you at the end of the video or near the end of the video a list of tools and platforms that I use for planning that are really, really useful, and they're all free, I think. Hold on. Yeah, they're all free. Go for it. So I'm going to share a list of tools that you guys can use in order to keep your planning. First of all, get your planning mobile so you could plan wherever it is that you are, but also that it can make your life easier. So stay tuned until near the end. So when you're segmenting your planning, you really want to make sure that you're focusing on one thing at a time. My recommendation is start with the plot elements. What plot elements do you want to tackle in this particular session? Focus on that first. Don't go into too much detail, maybe in the location. You can mention the location, but don't take the time to actually flesh it out. Maybe you start writing up some of the challenges, maybe the encounters, some sort of the things that happen, the events that happen. Don't focus on that yet. You can mention them while you're plotting your plot, but don't focus on them yet. Then in the second instance, or whenever you feel like you've got enough already done with the plot, then you move on to the encounters or the challenges. And then you continue on. Then you maybe, if you want, you can flesh out the location, and that's basically it. So just go in little by little, and eventually you're going to have all of these jigsaw puzzle-like pieces to the plot or to the session that you're planning. They're all going to come together pretty nicely. And something that it's like an insert, I guess. Something that I would recommend you also do is to cut your social media time. Something that we do whenever we have time, we sit down, we're waiting for our coffee to brew, or we're drinking our coffee, we have our 10-minute break, we are at lunch, and sometimes we go into YouTube and watch videos like this one, or we go into Facebook and just start scrolling up, or go to Twitter and what's new, what do I have to read, what is new information that I have. Take this time instead to start figuring out what you're going to do, start creating, start thinking, start maybe specifically going on social media to maybe look for resources or ideas or tips on what you can do. Don't waste your time too much with the social media that you can spend instead on planning your session. I hope that came out right, because it was kind of a mess, but I don't want to re-record it. And finally, the last thing that I would suggest, the third thing that I would suggest for you to be able to still be a responsible adult while doing the best you can as a game master, is to simplify your games. It's true that we want to sometimes create the best experience that we can, and we want to include, maybe we're playing physically and we're playing in person, and we want to have all of the minis, we want to have all of the maps. Even if we are online, we want to have all of the maps and the VTTs ready and set up. We want to have the music. And even though all those things help, you can have a lot of fun with a very minimalistic set. By minimalistic, I mean you don't have to have the world map or the map of the encounter. You could just have a squared grid map and just dry erase some things on the floor, on the grid, and that's it. You don't have to have all of your minis. You can just have like coins or dice represent the characters. That's fine. Remember that most of the game, what makes the game interesting is being able to envision these worlds in our minds. Capitalize on that. Something that I do a lot, and it's probably because I came from Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf Apocalypse and Hunter the Reckoning, those games, it focuses a lot on theater of the mind. And what theater of the mind is basically the GM is narrating the details to the characters, to the players, I should say. And as you go through, you're really painting this picture, and you're using a lot of descriptive language, and it's something that I'm going to make a video on in the future, on how to be how to focus on, or rather how to use theater of the mind effectively. But yeah, use that. Maybe you want to throw a picture here and there so that your players can sort of have a good idea of what they're dealing with. But other than that, use descriptive language, use theater of the mind. That requires almost no setup, and you can still have tons of fun. Most of the games that I run are theater of the mind, and never have we ever not have a good time because we don't have a VTT set up, or we don't have a visual grid of the enemies as they're moving. Yeah, they do help with maybe some clarity, but they don't stop the fun. And remember, we're trying to be able to plan everything in our free time so that we are still responsible adults, which is really what I'm trying to focus on in this video. And that's basically it, but I do want to share two more bits of information that could really help you out. And the first thing is to please tell your players that you might not have as much time as before to dedicate to the planning and the preparing of the game. Tell them that the few sessions that you are going to have, maybe when you're a little bit tighter on time, that there's a chance that it's not going to meet up the quality maybe that you used to have, and most of the time they'll understand. We all want to have fun. We all want to play this game. We all want to provide the experiences for our players to have fun, and as long as we're all together, that's fine with a lot of the players. And the last little bit is to maybe you could switch to self-contained sessions. Maybe like they call one-shots, which almost always turn out to be more than just a one season, one episode thing, one session thing. So that it's more like a monster of the week kind of thing, where you go to a place, something happens, you fix it, and then you can move on. It's not always awesome to continue doing for long amounts of time, but maybe for a period of time that you're extremely busy and you don't have the time to plan all of these longer sessions or all of these story arcs or whatever, self-contained sessions or one-shots are honestly a good idea, especially if you just want to play it. You just want to play to have fun. You just want to share together on the experience. Most of the time, we divert from the story anyway because we're having too much fun doing whatever it is that we're doing, so the plot sometimes is not what really matters, is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the most important thing is how much fun we have when we're together, and it doesn't necessarily come from the story. It comes from our own interactions. And now for the tools, and I want to run by them very quickly because I'm really tired and because I want the video to remain as short as it possibly can. These are the tools that I recommend you use and that I use myself whenever I am planning a session. And we're going to do it in sort of like a spitball style, so let's go. Evernote is an awesome and flexible note-taking app that helps you organize like your life, like your whole life. Actually, I use Evernote to write everything. Even my scripts, I plan, let's take a break. Actually, I plan most of my scripts and I write all my scripts in Evernote while I'm on the move. I was watching TV with my wife the other day, and that's when I wrote the script to the video. We were laughing and whatever, and every once in a while I looked back on my phone and I wrote some things and I kept watching. Google Docs is a cloud-based document editor. And like I mentioned, you could use Evernote or Google Docs to write and plan your sessions wherever it is you are. Discord, you probably know Discord already. But you can also use Discord to share images and documents with your players. MRPG is a chat-like platform that allows players to roll dice individually and everybody can see the results as a group. Pinterest is a photo gallery. ArtStation, another photo gallery. DeviantArt, another photo gallery. Creative Uncut is a video game concept art gallery for like a ton of games. And my GMSOS videos. I don't know when, but I promise there are more coming. Final words. You can do it. It takes some time to get used to, but you can be a responsible adult while you play. Just make sure that you focus on your real life first. This is ultimately, tabletop role-playing games are ultimately just a game. And though they allow us to socialize and they do help us breathe and just relax, real life comes first. our responsibilities come first, and that's something that we always have to prioritize. And if you're looking for more pieces of advice on how to be a great GM, the channel, there's a lot of very good videos, but this one in particular is very good. If the format is kind of weird, it's because that was one of my first videos that I made, and the style was different, and I was going for a different look, and then I changed it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that this video is a very good video. I'll post it at the end, and also, yeah, I'm gonna go, because I have a place that I need to be in right now, and yeah, just keep at it, guys. Also, if you haven't done so far, make sure that you like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with someone who you think might like it, click on the notification bell icon so you can stay up to date with all the videos, and let me know in the comment section below if you liked it or you didn't, or there's something that I missed, or something that you use, or something that you found useful from the video. Anyway, guys, see you on the next episode, and from the bottom of my heart, have a great day. Please do rest, be responsible, but most of all, peace. Catch you next time, guys.